My name is Jarrad. I'm the Senior Financial Planner for Australian Expats here at Global Financial Consultants, and originally moved from Perth, Western Australia to Singapore a little under 8 years ago now. But one of the best parts about working as a financial planner is that every day is a little bit different. Working our job, as I said, we work with Australian expats from all over. We're working with different professionals across different industries with their own specific goals. And it just really allows us to be quite creative with some of the solutions that we're coming up with and meeting some really great expats. One of the most certainly rewarding and memorable experiences that I've got was quite early in my financial planner journey here in Singapore. Met the 2IC, the second in charge for a large international multinational company, and he had just seen his boss be made redundant and learned that he'd been here for about 9 years and saved nothing. So he was destined to do something about it. Unfortunately, he wasted a lot of time and money, but we were able to actually create a solution that put him back on track and really allowed him to make the most of his time here. So he's probably the most grateful and thankful client that we have, and that was certainly a rewarding experience to work with him. Look, there's probably two common misconceptions and I guess mistakes that we see Australian expats make. The first one, the most common one really when it comes to the misconceptions, is that people think you need a lot of money to see a financial planner, when in fact you might actually just be starting out. So there really is no minimum amount that you need to see a financial planner. You really just need to have a clear idea of what your goals and objectives look like. And I think the other, common mistake that we see, particularly with Australian expats, is they start their offshore, their expat journey, and simply forget about their tax or their superannuation, property, mortgages, whatever it may be back at home, which can lead to some pretty disastrous consequences down the track if you're not careful. One of the most challenging experiences as a financial planner, and I think most financial planners will attest to this, is really the psychologist hat that we have to wear when markets are volatile, or when we see a serious downturn, as we did in 2020 with COVID. 2019 in December, it was the worst month since the Great Depression, and we really have to coach our clients through those volatile and difficult times. You know, it's important to stay the course, to not panic, to not make common mistakes that people often make during those volatile periods. So that's always a challenging period, and certainly a busy period for us, just to make sure that we're talking with all of our clients. Something interesting, look, a big part of my life is giving back to the community, and a charity, a cause that's very close to our heart is cystic fibrosis. We work with an organisation in Australia called Conquer Cystic Fibrosis, and one of the events that we set up back in Perth a number of years ago now was an event called Convicts for a Cause. We locked up CEOs, public notable people in Fremantle prison, and they had to raise bail money to get out, and all of that money went to charity. We've looked into running it with Changi here in Singapore. I think it might take perhaps a bit of time, maybe that's wishful thinking, but certainly a big part of our life here. My personal investment philosophy is to simply diversify. And I know it sounds basic, but quite often if you ask a real estate agent what the best investment is, it's always their properties. If you ask a stockbroker, it's always equities. The right answer is often to diversify. I'm a big believer in buying property. We own properties back home in Australia. Big believer in shares, superannuation, getting your structuring right. The more of all of the assets is going to be the winner in the end. So that's my personal belief. If I could share just one tip for Australian expats, it would be to get your finances in order as quick as possible. Singapore makes it incredibly easy to spend large amounts of money very, very quickly. So the faster you can start saving, the faster you can put your money to work, the better off you're going to be.